Hi VIPs. I had looked back and I had not done nearly enough photography around the pool this year. So this shoot was going to definitely be around the pool. But it was going to be a little bit more complicated than some of my others for a few reasons. Number one, it was with the D800 and I'm still getting used to that camera. Number two, the best lens to use for what I wanted to achieve is the 70-200, which is a heavy lens to put it lightly. No pun intended. Three, I wanted some creative angles, and the shoot was near the water. So creative angles, water, it's dangerous. So I phoned a friend. I rehearsed the shoot behind the camera earlier in the day, so I got my angles and my settings all ready to go. Let's just say that I'm a little bit of a control freak, and even when I'm not behind the camera, I like to have everything planned so that when I look at the photos later, after the shoot, I'm seeing what I expected to see. For a shoot like this one, which had to be done at a particular time of day, there are absolutely no do-overs. Why did it have to be done at one particular time of day, you ask? Because there was no artificial lighting used whatsoever, so I needed the light to be just so that I didn't have to augment it at all. What was really nice when it came to lighting is that although my house was blocking the afternoon sun, which, by the way, makes for a nice shady afternoon swimming pool, there was this giant cloud in the sky that the sun was shining on. It was like a ginormous softbox in the sky. The light in the sky was not overly warm, which is what I like, but it was very soft and diffused by this giant cloud. What we realized was that we could shoot from virtually any angle, and the lighting was great. It's just the kind of situation that you dream about, and I'm not gonna lie, there was plenty of luck involved with this one. So with lighting provided by Mother Nature, the rest of the setup was focused on poses and mood. And of course, what closes the deal after the shooting is post-processing. I could spend probably a couple of days looking at all sorts of photos, but mostly older ones from the 60s. I wanted to conjure up a modern take on some of the fun in the sun 1960s style poolside photos. I ended up with something a little more modern and intense, but I still, paid homage to an earlier time, we could say. You'll see in the photos that I did some poolside fun, some fun in the water and coming out of the water, and some afterwards on the edge of the pool. The D800 was set to aperture priority, f2.8 and sometimes f4, with auto ISO set using the D800's super smart shutter speed selector, which tries to give the lowest available ISO while still maintaining an appropriate shutter speed for a telephoto zoom like the 70-200. I'm glad that we did it this way because as the clouds were moving, the available light was changing rapidly. So instead of stopping to make ISO decisions, we could just let the camera make the sensitivity decision and keep refining the look of the poses. There would have been nothing more distracting than having to change settings from shot to shot instead of, going with the mood of the shoot. So it was really nice to utilize auto ISO. Now, I've shown you a few photos in this video, but head to SnapChick.com for the entire set. And write to me anytime at pager@snapchick.com and tell me which one is your favorite. Also, if you want settings and shooting data for any of the shots, just let me know. Oh, and one more thing, the processing. Snapseed on my iPad is what I used for most of them. I know I have all this fancy software on my Mac, and I did use Aperture for a number of the shots. But if you have an iPad or a PC or a Mac, check out Snapseed. You don't get all of the flexibility in the world, but for the vintage and intense looks that I was going for, Snapseed hit it out of the park.